Hey everyone, I'm back. I have about a dozen different vacuums to show off, so let's get started. What we have in front of us is a Lindhaus Healthcare Pro, a dual motor upright made in Italy. This one's a pretty old design. If you're familiar with Lindhauses, you can tell that this is the latest revision of it, but the Healthcare Pro design is, I want to say it dates back to about maybe 1995. That's the earliest evidence I've been able to find of these kinds of machines. Healthcare Pro, DP5. I know there's a couple other ones like that, but it's a bit hard to find Lindhaus history. So yeah, this is a 2-motor upright that has nozzle switching, much like a Felix. In fact, it's might have been the first one to do that, though maybe Vorwerk did it as well. Not super familiar with those, but yeah, this is one of the oldest design. Yeah, it's probably one of the oldest designs on the market that's still decent. Like, I mean, this is only about 4 years newer than like a Kirby G3 for reference, and I would definitely take this Healthcare Pro over one of the generation Kirbys, which I do have, but I will say that Kirbys don't really line up with my preferences in vacuums, but dual motor uprights with nozzle switching absolutely do. So let's get close to this machine. Kind of zoom in on it. We're not really zoom in on it, we're just walking towards it. Anyways, the Healthcare Pro is kind of tall for an upright. It's about, it's probably one of the tallest uprights I own. I'm about 6 feet tall, and it goes up to about, I don't know, middle of my rib cage. And you do kind of feel that when you have the vacuum actually reclined. It feels like a very big and weighty machine, even though it's only a couple pounds heavier than something like Felix. But yeah, in fact, in this video, I'm going to be comparing this to the Felix like crazy, because if I'm being honest, the Healthcare Pro feels like an early prototype of the Felix. Like, I think this is a good vacuum, but the Felix just does a lot of the same things in a kind of a nicer, newer package. So one of those things is that Lindhaus has not updated their uprights to use synthetic bags. Like, I'm worried that they're I think maybe like M3 bags or something. Like, you technically can get HEPA bags through these, but well, you can't order them off the internet, which is kind of how I get all my vacuum parts, and I don't really have a Lindhaus dealer near me. So I'm stuck using the, I'm stuck using the paper bags. But I will say these bags do hold up a lot. Like, yeah, this is probably about halfway, maybe not halfway, but dust in here is packed in really tightly. Use this vacuum for helping a family member move out of their apartment, and definitely did a good job with that. Like, I can definitely, like, Lindhaus definitely has earned their reputation for, like, good, durable commercial vacuums, and you can see that this one is a 14-inch model as opposed to the 12-inch model. I would say that if you're using one of these for home use, then just get the 12-inch. It'll handle a little better. But yeah, this is a nice vacuum. Comes with a crevice tool and a very nice dusting brush that can swivel around. Just trust me on that, because it's kind of hard to show off while I have my phone in my hand. One thing that I thought I would like better about this vacuum was the hose setup. Like, with the Cibo Felix, the hose basically comes out the top of the vacuum, and the actual handle is down right about here, and you don't have an integrated wand, which is kind of annoying. And the way the Lindhaus does it is to, you know, basically give you an integrated wand, but the problem is it's not that easy to work with. Like, unlike say a Cibo X4, you can't just pull it out. It's held in by this clip, so yeah, you have to get that out of there, and it's still being held in by this clip at the top, which is, it's not really a great system. And I don't really love that they put the hose handle on the left. I feel like right side makes more sense. But when you're actually using this machine, I honestly suggest, like, see, that's kind of a pain to get in there. I would honestly suggest just leaving this to flop about. I know it looks bad, but it doesn't really get in the way too much when you're vacuuming, and it's better than having to unclip this. But overall, like, I think this hose setup could be better. I know, yeah, now that I think about it, earlier healthcare pros do have the hose that goes all the way down, but I guess it's still being held in by clips, so still not great. And the actual hose and wand themselves, pretty short, but, well, the wand's a good length for an upright. That'll be kind of hard to, yeah, I can't really do that one-handed, but it's fine. The hose is definitely short, but it's also, like, very light and doesn't really fight you. Like, another vacuum that I'll be showing off later is this Protein 1200 XP, and I like that vacuum too, but its hose is a lot stiffer, and this is pretty much a brand new one, so I can understand some stiffness, but the hose does feel a lot heavier and more awkward. We'll just put this back up here because it looks better. Something that's kind of hard to tell about this is that the carrying handle on the vacuum is up at the front, and it doubles as the lower cord hook. Let me show you how that would look. Yeah, it goes like this, which is kind of strange, and the way you actually do the quick release is to telescope the handle down, which is kind of hard to do with one hand, and you can see that now the cord is loose and you can go out and vacuum with it. So it's definitely this is just a very quirky machine. Still good, but definitely could use a little bit of modernization, which I guess they kind of did with the Valtzer lithium-ion design, which will be coming out. Well, I think the corded version is going to be coming out within the next couple of years. I know it's on their website in Italy. I don't know if it'll make it over to the US, but yeah. And something that they do improve on with the Valtzer, and something with the Felix as well, is that you see that neck down there and how it's very recessed. This makes the whole nozzle swapping aspect of this vacuum kind of difficult to do. Like, it's way easier to swap it out with, like, the Felix or the Valtzer, just because they leave the little button latch more out and easy to get. It's one of those things that's kind of minor, but, you know, for the price this vacuum is, I like to see it be better. But yeah, it's still a good vacuum. I think it cleans well. One thing I was disappointed to find out was that if you have the 14-inch model, then you can't get the double row brush roll. They only have the single row available. So yeah, that's a little bit of a letdown in my book. Yeah. Other than that, the vacuum has quite an interesting control setup. So unlike a normal vacuum where the first on setting would be like maybe a suction motor on, second would be suction and brush roll motor on, what the Lindhaus does is, let's just pull it down for a sec. So first one on. So that's suction motor, that's normal. And then now you just turn the brush roll motor on without the suction motor. This is done for Lindhaus's dry cleaning system, where you like put some powder on the carpet and work it in with just the brush roll. Which, I mean, it's a cool feature. I haven't used it before, but it does seem weird to kind of center the whole switch setup around it, but if you do want to use your suction motor and your brush roll, you do it like, put it in setting 1 and hit the green button, or you do setting 2 and hit the green button. Whoops. So yeah, very weird and quirky. But, I mean, it's minor, but I don't know, just a very strange part of this machine. Alright, so I'll do a quick pickup test. I'm actually kind of running out of serial to do pickups with, so it's going to be a bit sparser than last time. So that vacuum definitely cleans well and cleans surface really well and grooms the carpet nicely. It's also pretty decent in terms of maneuverability for having a wide path head and not having a swivel neck. And I'm not one of those people who thinks that every vacuum has to have a swivel neck. Maybe every canister does, but I can, for some reason, I can forgive it more with an upright. But yeah, overall, this is still a good vacuum. 25 years later. It could use some modernizations given the price it sells for, but it's not terrible. So on to, what vacuum am I doing next? I believe it will be a Samsung Jet 90, so stay tuned for that.